Hello, so I just want to kind of do a video about Dorian. I get asked a lot of questions about him. A lot of people leave comments about him, asking questions about Dorian and whether or not he's good for this team, or if he's better than this healer or that healer, and right, and I guess I want to kind of talk about Dorian. I actually did a video about Dorian last year, right? But Dorian, right? So let's get into him. Where is he? He's probably way down on mine. Oh, there he is. Right, so Dorian, he is a vampire healer, right? We should look at his skills, but let's get into Violet so we can actually see the skills better. So let's just do this. Okay. Oh, I don't have those. Fine. Can't believe I don't have some of these things. Let's see, what do I need here? There we go. And make a bunch of these just because I have so many of them, and that way I don't have to keep doing it every time I need some from these. Okay. Alright, so that's Violet. Alright, so now he's Violet rank, so we can look at this stuff a bit more. So kind of like the main theme with Dorian is this one right here, Initiation. Gets Vampirism Aura. Right, so Vampirism Aura just means that heroes that are nearby, it says nearby allies, will get a vampirism ability, right? So as you can see, based on the skill level, right, it starts at 26%, the next level goes to 27%, right, goes up 1% per level, just like that, right? So I imagine maxed out, this probably, so you'd have 90 plus 25, so it'd be 115% vampirism. That's really good healing. Right, so vampirism just means that when they do damage, it heals. Like if you have 100% vampirism, if you do 100 damage, you gain 100 life, right? Pretty simple, right? So 115% vampirism, like if you do 100 damage, you get 115 life, right? Not a bad ability. This one also, so this creates a mark on the nearest rival. So this puts on like the enemy. And then all the damage that your heroes do to that enemy recover life. So it's similar to, pretty much gives your whole team vampirism against a particular enemy. Kind of like a reverse vampirism. Right, this one is, this is just a heal. He gives away 20% of his life to heal. Right, so it starts out at 100, so it's actually more life than he gives up for the heal, so that's not bad. And this is Wings of Night, right? It's opponents twice. Right, this lets him heal himself, so when he's draining his own life, he can heal himself with this one. This does a bit of damage, so this one will get buffed with Merlin, so he'll use this a bit faster if you have Merlin with him. Right, that's probably the only one that Merlin buffs. I mean, Merlin give a bit more magic, gives magic penetration. Could also give magic penetration, right? So he does have magic penetration by default, so this can help his self-healing a bit if you have Merlin on his patron. Right, so let's see, anything, I know you can use, so you can use Merlin or Axel. Axel, they both give a magic attack. This gives him magic penetration, this gives him armor. Not a big, I guess, kind of really just whichever one's free most of the time on him. That would be probably what you're going to use. Right, so, and, right, and the question, is that if he's actually good or not, right? And that kind of goes with the vampirism. So he's kind of like Nebula in that he is very, very line dependent, right? And this is kind of like the crux of Dorian. He's not like a go-to top healer that you put in most of your teams like Celeste. He's not, right, he's a lot more narrow. Like Celeste, the Martha are just much more reliable. Like, and this is not a hero I would recommend most players invest in, right? If you're going to use Dorian, like, you really kind of have to build your team around him. You know, and he's good at against certain teams, like with certain teams. Like, he's very narrow. He can excel and plays it, but this is not a hero I really recommend too much because of just how narrow he gets. It's like said, it's just right, kind of like the go-to combo with him is like with like Orion, Helios, right? So where are we? Problem max power is that I have a hard time finding everyone because it's way different list I'm used to looking at. Right, so what happens, like this is kind of like the go-to because he's your 2 DPS and he sits between them, so you get that vampirism aura. Right, but a lot of times, right, there's just not room for Dorian because you want to have Sebastian, usually it's Celeste and Aurora in these kind of teams just because that's kind of like the go-to build, but you can use Dorian instead of Celeste, but right, I mean, this will give him good healing, but you know, if Aurora won't get very good healing, neither will Sebastian. I mean, maybe you have Oliver on Sebastian or something, but yeah, no, so you're not gonna get good healing on this team for the front line, so that's kind of like the downside of Dorian, right? Right, and just generally, like I said, and he doesn't have the DPS that Celeste brings. He buffs, the other kind of downside is that he buffs physical attack, which kind of, again, which is not the ideal buff. Celeste buffing magic attacks much more useful, right? Like I said, so this kind of an awkward buff for Dorian. I think that also kind of limits him, right? This could be like a good team. Like he could be good versus like Cleaver. It's like, you know, if he's in the very back of your team, and a Cleaver pulls in front, that can be good. He could be good versus the twins because Lars tends to bunch up your teams, and he can give your whole team vampirism aura when that happens. Right? I've definitely run into some problems against Dorian, so he can be a good counter hero in certain situations, but overall, like right, he's more of what I call like an advanced hero. Like he's the kind of hero you'll take like after you have like your 6 or 7 like, you know, core heroes. Like you have your main team and then like your 1 or 2 alternates. Like he's the hero you build after that, right? Like he's a later build. Like this is something I wouldn't do unless you're like much more interested in investing in this game, like seriously, and playing the more competitively. Like for casual player, he's really just not a hero I recommend. I mean, Celeste is just much more versatile, much better, right? Martha, reliable. She's a bit slow and she does get countered. She kind of falls off the high level because everyone runs Aurora, which counters her, right? Or Thea, which, right, I said you get her really early in the game, like, and she's pretty reliable, right? So I think those most players, like, that's just going to be better than Dorian, right? Right, and oh yeah, I should definitely show you that Dorian's artifacts, right? Because right, physical attack, kind of an awkward buff because his main team that you see him with is Orion Helios, which magic attack. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video informative. Thank you for watching.